It is the very final race of the International Masters of Formula R 2.0 season, and we have a champion, and that champion is Kimster Magnum. However, we should hopefully get a final good race of the season, and joining me as ever is Nick.
Hi there.
As you can see, round 16 of 16 at the Curitiba Circuit in Brazil. One of the fastest circuits in the calendar, and we saw some good racing last time out.
Yes, very fast track, and we saw lots of side-by-side action. There are quite a few corners here where you can take more than one line, which certainly contributed to that.
Yes, especially around Estrada do Miolo. I'm sorry to any Brazilian speakers out there, which has got at least 2 workable lines and plenty of scope for different overtaking. Bai Jr. is on pole by virtue of taking 8th in the first race on the reverse grid. Kimster Magnum lines up alongside him and will be looking to go out and finish the championship in style. They're ahead of Dan Thorne, AJOK. Mr. Flobberdob, our race 1 winner, is 8th. MDSP and Tom Brooks just missed out on the reverse grid. And Ollie K, who had an eventful race, let's be charitable, to 11th in race 1, which unfortunately cost him the championship.
And might cost him second place in the championship, because Blairy is ahead of him now by 1 point and is quite far up the grid from him by virtue of that reverse grid position.
Yes indeed. Anything could happen.
So now we're just waiting for everyone to come in.
Yes, no formation lap for the second races. They hope they know how to get to the grid by that point. Everyone coming to the grid now.
They're all lined up, and now we're just waiting for the lights as they come on. First light, second.
Lights are on.
And they'll go.
And it's go for the final time.
Looked like quite a good start there from Bai Jr., but we're going to see who's first into turn 1. It is Kimster.
It is Kimster. He'll be hoping not to turn back from there as Blairy
and MDSP again at the first corner.
Yes, not a... Oh, the offender's getting very close indeed down one of the back straights.
6th and 7th position, and I think
P.I. James...
Flob is... No, he's not
James
quite made the position.
P.I. James just seemingly a little bit hesitant through that corner.
And Dan Thorne cuts underneath AJK, who goes wide onto the grass. He's going to lose several positions because of that.
Not what AJK would have wanted.
No, indeed.
Had to go off.
Oh, Flob
to go off like that this early in the race.
Flob just kissed the... Oh!
Oh, and big accident there. That's AJK
again. That's very strange.
Went straight on at the fast chicane, hit the wall very hard. Amazing, he's presumably able to continue.
I'm going to see what happened.
MDSP
too hard on the brakes.
Yeah, it didn't seem to compensate for the fact it's the first lap, and you have to be that much more careful. And Blairy will not be amused when he sees that replay.
Certainly not. AJK is in the pits now.
Pits after that accident.
So the 2 defenders' cars again next to each other, side by side through that corner. He's not given up on the position. Flobberdob, he was ahead of P.Y. James, been passed by him somewhere. Dan Thorne now is trying to go around the outside of the pair of them. Don't think that's going to quite work, but he's still on the track.
We do talk about lunging quite a lot, but I think that's the first time I've seen a lunge round the outside.
And if it was going to be anyone, it would be Dan Thorne.
It would be.
So now Bai Jr. is under pressure from P.Y. James, who himself is now leaving the door open for Mr. Flobberdob. So he's caught between a rock and a hard place. Does he defend? Does he go for it? I think he has to go for it. As you can see, AJOK coming out the pits there in the background. And And Flob, ooh, makes a lunge. Is he going to get both positions? No, has to back out of it very wisely.
Nope. Yes. Flob would have just not quite able to make the move stick, and Dan Thorne's hanging on to this group, and they're all catching Tommy V up ahead.
So we have the two independable sandwiching the two defenders' cars, battling for what I think is ultimately second position.
Yes, Kimster's run away at the front. Our champion doesn't need the points, but he'll take them anyway.
By Junior now looking to make a move on Tommy. Just going to get the right line for the final corner. Tommy goes a little bit wide, but I have seen that isn't too much of a problem. Slightly scribbly there through the corner, and that's put him right in danger of being attacked by, I think Mr. Frobber was got by his teammate. It's going very defensive.
Nose to tail down the back straight.
Dives down, but he's not going to be oh. He backed out and then decided to go again.
Like 2 goes at it.
Yeah, sorry, that was PY James, who's still ahead. Right. Well, until he runs wide there and loses.
Yeah, until then.
Loses position to Dan Thorne
and Ollie K. So that leaves Mr. Vlogdog free room to attack by Junior ahead.
And all the time this is going on, Tommy's managed to hold on to second place. He got his first podium in the previous race. Can he make it 2 in a row?
That is the question. We certainly fancy his chances. He seems to have a good pace.
And Dan Thorne is now 5th position. So the Independables have found something around this circuit to their liking.
Yeah, they're definitely in the thick of it, much more so than they have been in recent races. They've had a bit of a disaster at Okayama.
Yes, with the infamous formation finish with Dan Thorne reversing across the line.
Yes. That was a moment of madness in the season.
Apparently it went a little bit viral on Twitter and got the series some good publicity.
Their retweets hit double figures.
Now we are on board with Ollie K, 6th position, trying to make amends for his rather disastrous attempt at trying to take the championship fight to the last round. And of course he wants to finish second
much like
if he
Kimster,
can.
Well, much like Kimster, we want him to finish this last race in style, and in this case retain prize. Junior continues to defend.
There don't seem to be... Oh, Flop's going to go down the inside, but not really an overtaking position.
The braking zone's just too short there. And behind, Dan Thorne under serious pressure from Ollie K.
And Flop's right behind by Junior now. He's going to stick in his slipstream and he's going to go for it at the very last second. He goes down the inside. He's going to have the corner and he does make the position.
Makes it stick.
And Dan Thorne is holding on for dear life.
Yep, and Ollie K just ran a little wide there, I think, and that allowed PY James.
And PY James made a mess of that corner, and Ollie K closes right up to the back of him. He might have a little look here into the corner that's known as Pinarino, but it's a little bit too far behind unless there's some kind of mistake from PY James.
There isn't. He did seem to get a little bit out of shape over the apex.
Yeah, it seemed like he put his inside wheel on the grass. He had to just take a bit of momentum out of his corner.
Yes, but not enough to cost him any positions.
And he's still right with Dan Thorne here. And Dan Thorne, we saw in the previous race, has enough grunt to kind of live with anyone in the slipstream at the end of the straight, so it's not going to be too easy to get by, but you would think with the faster car, PY James, it's only going to be a matter of time before he does take position. Dan Thorne goes defensive quite early, not in any immediate danger there, but just covers off any kind of late surprise attack. Obviously doesn't want to see the car lunging down there and forcing him to cede position.
Well, once you get down the inside of that corner, it is quite hard to defend because the next corner is upon you so quickly. It's almost like one contiguous right-hander.
This is quite similar to the first corner at, I think, is it Alton Park I'm thinking of? There's that tiny bit of a chicane, but really it's one long corner.
I don't think that's Alton Park, but I'm not sure which one it is.
It's one of the British touring car. Is it? It's either there or not Snetterton. Anyway, we've got we have this with this track to think about.
Yeah. Let's just let's end up with a tangent because P.Y. James is right behind Dan Thorne. And he's closer than he has been in previous laps. It's in the last part of the straight. P.I. James seems to gain.
He covers it all, but he switches right down the inside and he's made the move stick. That's very impressive overtaking.
Very opportunistic from P.Y. James. That was not an easy place to get past.
He's got to make sure now that Dan Thorne doesn't come straight back underneath him, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. And Dan Thorne just gets in the side of him a little.
Very
and
close indeed.
Ollie K gets through.
Briefly free wide, and Ollie K will have a run into the hairpin.
He's going to have to go around the outside.
The inside line.
Looks like he's got the momentum, and Ollie K has made 2 positions in 2 corners, and Dan Thorne takes position back as well. So a disastrous bit of luck for P.Y. James.
P.I. James gained it all and losed it all. But he'll be close again as they come round back onto the front straight. It's a very, very short lap here, so you don't have to wait terribly long between each good overtaking point.
That's true, and the fans that have turned out here today have been treated to a lot of close, exciting racing, and it is, as I said before, the organisers must have had this track in mind as the perfect place to finish the championship, because it is quite a good way to send off the series.
It is also quite unlike anything we've done this season. We've had it's quite different from the twists of Okayama and the street circuit at Vara. We haven't had a proper high-speed track like this in this season, so it's an interesting challenge for the final race.
It certainly has been, and P.Y. James not close enough yet. It does seem that first corner is his best chance to take the position away from Dan Thorne, but he's tried a fair few times and we're still here staring at the back of Dan Thorne's gearbox.
Obviously in the front straight you have all that slipstream to play with.
Just seems that P.Y. James carries a little more momentum through that final corner, which is... And now he's got a really good run on Dan Thorne. It's going to be very hard for him to fight back.
He's got a really good run now.
And he has the inside line as well, which could be crucial. He's just alongside, and it's all going to be about the braking. Careful not to go too far.
He makes the move stick.
Had to hang on a little there through the second corner, but he does retain that position. Kimster out in front, all on his own, as we are quite used to seeing this season.
This has been a dominant display. He was able to take the lead early on and hasn't looked back since, and unless something goes horribly wrong, most likely won't. Our champion looking like he's going to finish the season in some style.
Just as we saw of Miss Flobodov in the first race, it's the kind of driver, if you let him get out in the lead, then you can pretty much kiss goodbye to the race victory, and he's just going to go off into the distance and you'll never see him until you both get into Parc Fermé. Here's the battle for the lower points, Don Matteo in 15th.
Not so much lower points.
No positions.
Positions away. Yeah. But, Don Matteo seems to be a little more competitive than he has been for much of this season. Struggled quite badly with this car. And no points as of yet.
He's hanging on to that 15th position as if it was a podium place though.
Well, it's all about perspective, and the two senior motorsports cars running together as he did at Road America, albeit they were 5th and 6th then.
And it did end rather badly as well.
Yes, Coffey was reported to be extremely unhappy with his teammate after that race.
see if they can manage not to take each other out this time.
Well, fingers crossed.
So it's all rather steady at the moment.
Everyone's running pretty much line astern, which is certainly fewer of the silly contact and silly mistakes we saw in the first race, which is definitely a good thing to see.
Yeah, it's a little less exciting, but sometimes you do appreciate the professionalism of these drivers rather than cheap thrills and spills.
Yes. Yes, the show is often improved by good driving as opposed to anything else. Don Matteo started to come under pressure again from Mastro and Wolf.
He's just got enough on him, but Mastro and Wolf making tiny little inroads every single corner, and he's got into slipstream now, so this could be the decisive moment in this battle. Mastro and Wolf.
Don Matteo going defensive.
He's gonna still try to go. He's opened the door again though, and Mastro and Wolf is
It'll be
gonna
a
dive.
bold move from there, and big lock up.
Credit there, he did slow
Coffee.
right down and not try and take the position, even though the gap had closed. That has allowed Crago onto the back of both senior motorsport cars. Oh, he's tapped the back of
Gets
Coffee.
into the back of Coffee and spins across the grass onto the escape road. He survives and didn't make any contact with any barriers, but that will cost him a significant amount of time, and just seemed to misjudge who was misjudged the closing speeds between himself and Coffee.
It was a fairly spectacular incident for how minor a touch it is, but the speeds they're going at.
Well, the speeds they're going at around this track of all tracks, any small touch can have significant consequences, as we just saw. And Mastro and Wolf going wide in the final corner.
And Coffee's right on the back of him now.
Coffee a run at him.
And he's going to go try down the inside again.
Inside.
He seems to have the line and the positioning, but
Chance, but
Mastro and Wolf
Wolf's able to break that bit later.
It is all about the brakes into that corner. We have seen seemingly slam dunk overtakes be denied by good braking in. Blairy and Lynn fighting over 10th position, 10th and 9th. Lynn is holding on,
Yes, they're
making Blairy go the hard way, but Blairy, if he can just stick through this, will have the inside line for the final corner. In fact, he doesn't. He cuts underneath. And he will have the inside line after all.
well indeed, and not necessarily a
Ninth place
slam
it is.
dunk, but definitely it is.
And Lynn has got replay between the two
Ahead.
junior motorsport cars by Junior. Going down the inside of Ollie Kay, not quite making it.
Not
And
quite.
then spins.
Evidently, with the Evidently, with the championship over, there's no team orders there, and Bai Junior is free to attack as much as he pleases, with even if he didn't make it stick. And Mastro and Wolf spins Don Matteo by the looks of things, and that allows Coffee past both of them. Oh,
Yes.
that's a replay.
Ollie Kay has shared most of the glory of the junior motorsport season, so not surprising to see Bai Junior in his team wanting to come away on the final race having beaten his more illustrious teammate.
The caption says Bukoy, but that looks, the helmet is of AGOK there. And so AGOK is, I believe, a lap down after his early accident.
And Lynn, oh,
So he,
silly little half spin there in the turbulent air.
just lost the back end, and that's cost him a place to the Tropical and I think another car.
And Race Pro UK is in the pits. His car is completely smashed up. We haven't seen why. We're about to, I suspect. He through turn 3 here. Got a bit too wide, slips on the grass, completely loses the car and straight into the barriers. And that cost him his front wing and his front wheel.
Just got a bit too eager there, and it was enough to spin him round.
I'm amazed he made it back to the pits with his car in that condition.
Yes, this is Bukoy and was it Jim's, the caption said?
I think that is Jim's, as we see the number.
Fighting over 13th and 14th.
Bukoy hasn't enjoyed the season he would have liked, but
no, he's been a little further off the pace than he is now. He's normally quite well up in the midfield, Bukoy, but he's been fighting for the minor points positions for much of this season.
He's been a little ragged in these cars.
Finish at Okayama.
Yes, that was his best.
He has been.
Showing.
He'll be hoping for next season. He'll be hoping for something a bit less on the edge and twitchy.
Now he's
getting
lined
very
up
close
behind
to Jim's indeed.
Jim's went too wide in the final corner.
That should give Bukoy a run into the first corner, and indeed Jim's, he looked like he was going to go defensive for a moment, but he didn't, and he might live to regret that decision, although Bukoy passed quite comfortably before they even get braking. But Jim's much better on brakes, as
Tom Brooks is
he
lost a wheel.
Oh, he's lost a wheel.
Let's see what happened here.
One presumes he's hit the barrier. He's behind one of the Argo Sport cars, and pretty much did what Race Pro did, albeit in a different part of the circuit.
Yeah, it's so easy when you rejoin the crap. The car suddenly hooks back onto the grip
as you suddenly
of the track.
Grip, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim's well out of shape coming out the hairpin, but there's no real. Oh well, there might be now.
And there he goes. Oh no, Jim's is putting up a very strong defense here.
Bukoy just seemed to be a bit hesitant when overtaking, as we saw Blairy set the fastest lap.
Bukoy is not giving up, and he's going to be going down again into turn 1 for another go. Just needs to be a bit braver on the brakes.
Indeed.
But again, James keeps the position.
Nice. Jim's certainly putting up a resolute defence, despite a few hairy moments.
Bukoy's going to have to try a kind of motorcycle-style block pass, seemingly, if he's going to keep Jim's behind him and keep on to that position.
Well, indeed. Well, he'll be encouraged that he's seen Jim's make a couple of mistakes ahead. That will.
And he's opened the door there, and he's right underneath him.
Up.
Side by side. No, Jim's
just
still
about
ahead.
hanging on for now.
Just got to keep it clean through the final corner, and he's going to have a great chance at him. And he goes down the inside even before. And James is back down the inside
James
again.
Fights
Wow.
back.
This is really good stuff from the two of these.
Yeah, no contact between them. Bukoy tries again.
And once again, Jim's strong on the brakes.
Jim's stronger on the brakes and seemingly just a little bit more assured as in his movements.
Bukoy's probably wondering what. Oh, makes a little mistake there.
And yes, onto the grass, and that'll give Jim's a few seconds of breathing space.
Here is Blairy now.
And ahead
with
MDSP over 7th and 8th. So they'll be hoping, because of course these two collided at the first corner, with MDSP just getting a bit too violent, and they'll be hoping that they can be a bit cleaner this time.
MDSP came onto the scene very impressively. He had a pole in his third race, but since then we have seen quite a few mistakes from him, and he just needs to calm down a little bit and marry that speed to consistency, and we'll see him fighting for wins regularly next season, I should think.
Yeah, it's definitely. He's very quickly established himself as one of the front runners, and of course took that win at Road America. A few silly mistakes since then, and he's got Blairy all over the back of him now.
No, just keeping tight to that corner. It seems to be the best way when you're following another car, just to keep tight on the inside. He's not got much of a slipstream here.
It's definitely gaining, but it probably won't be enough into this first corner.
It was enough for MDSP to go defensive, although it seemed a bit conservative to do so, and now it has allowed Blairy to stay on the back of him.
You don't want to be defending fresh air because you just cost yourself time.
So he sends a dummy around the outside, just see if he can cut underneath. It has been successful in that move before, but MDSP has a line covered. They're coming up to, is this a lapped car, is this for position?
I think it's one of the junior motorsports. Oh, Blairy gets into MDSP.
Very forceful, and
it's a bit naughty.
Surprising that he thinks he can keep that position.
Blairy might well see it as karma after turn 1, though I'm not sure how the stewards will see it.
Yes, the stewards
don't.
don't.
Blairy a free run. Give Blairy a free run on the car ahead, which looks to be by Junior.
Now we'll see what MDSP can do now the roles are reversed. Seems to have a little more straight line speed. It's not going to commit to any kind of line until the braking zone. Makes a little look, not quite enough though.
Blairy's just got 2 laps to make as much progress as possible. He's wanting that 6th place, so if nothing else, give him a bit of a buffer between himself and MDSP. Goes round the outside, it is possible.
And he's going to do it.
On
the grass though.
You just need to get a little out of shape, and
oh no!
And that's a big accident.
That is all on MDSP. I'm afraid he forced by Junior into hitting Blairy and bore all the consequences of it.
By Junior just, well, it seems to be still running without much significant damage, and Blairy keeps going. He's still under attack as they go into their final lap.
This is probably going to be MDSP's best and last chance. Blairy going defensive early on, trying to break the toe. MDSP though has enough momentum to close right up to him. I don't think he's going to get close enough.
No, not quite. He's just
tucks in.
Doesn't even have to go particularly defensive. We've got a lapped car ahead of them by the looks of it, so immediate progress to be made, so it's all over this 6th place.
And MDSP's going to look to go down the inside.
And
he's hanging in there. Oh! Croffey.
Worst possible place to catch a back marker.
Croffey, just nothing he could have done, really.
No, I really expected the 2 front runners to catch him. Meanwhile, utterly dominant
that guy.
in front. Yes, our champion goes out in style, took the lead in the opening laps and never looked back after that.
It looks like MDSP is going to hold on 6th.
Second. And Blairy will unfortunately lose number 1 from his car for next season, as he comes home 7th, ahead of Dan Thorne in 8th, and behind Jims and Bukoy still battling.
So Bukoy did catch up to Jims. And he's going to have a little go into Pinorino.
Jim's going.
He does
Jim's
it.
Going extremely defensive and makes it stick at long last.
But Jims is going to fight back.
Jim's won't. He's got one more braking zone that isn't a particularly big braking zone.
Let's see, is he going to go and stick it around the outside? And somehow he's managed to drive all the way around Bukoy.
Bukoy lacking confidence for that fast chicane, and that will give Jims the position. Probably won't get him any points, but it will get him prestige.
That was strange. Jims appeared to be celebrating slightly, and Bukoy almost caught right back to him before the line. Kimster's
Kimster, a
been
race winner,
pushed.
being nudged along by Mr. Florvidog. Again, after 26 minutes and 116 miles an hour, our champion wins the final race, which is only fitting, really, at the end of the season.
Yes, it wasn't the championship deciding race, but nevertheless, it is nice to see the champion win the final race.
And not as Dom's disappeared, Mr. Florvidog only 1.4 seconds behind, although it's likely Kimster eased up a bit towards the end. Ollie Caper are 8 seconds back to finish on round up the podium. P.I. James, Tommy WTF1, Wary, Dan Thorne, Joe Speed, and MDSP and Bai Jr. round out points positions, with Lynn only a little behind. Jim's 12th and Bucoy 13th, last of the runners in the lead lap. Craig, Don Matteo and others were lapped. Kimster wins the championship by 21 points in the end, which makes look comfortable and probably was at times during those two races.
Yes, it's quite deceiving.
Not far away in third, either 129. Dan Thorne on 31.
Strong showing from Dan Thorne in the last two
Didn't
rounds. Got him that 11th
Yes.
place.
30 cars, or 30 drivers entered the season. A few didn't score any points. And the Defenders take the team's championship by 52 points from Junior Motorsport. That was quite a comfortable result, really.
Yes.
Defenders only a bit back, and Monolith confirmed before this race of being Independence champions. It has been a good season.
It has been a very
Plenty
enjoyable
of
season.
battles. Plenty of battles and incidents and accidents. We're seeing a few of them just now. And a good race for the championship as well. Kimster ultimately prevailing after a fairly messy race one. And this has been it for the International Formula R 2.0. These videos are edited by Alex O'Dell, James Price-Harper. I am Campbell, Wallis, your commentator and audio mixer. I have been joined by Nicholas Loomis.
It's been great to be
in
here.
commentary, and also by James Price-Harper in mid-season. This has been the International Formula R 2.0. We hope to see you again next season.
See you next year. Happy Christmas.
Yes, that too.